What is happening, everybody? Trey here, joined as always by my dad Sean, and today at Reactions to the Classics, we're going to be taking a look at Lynyrd Skynyrd, and not an album this time, not just one song reaction. We're doing top 10 list from our Patreon supporter, Rich.
Thank you, Rich.
Rich is bringing us a bunch of these lists. Been listening to music for decades and decades.
And got just an encyclopedic knowledge, man.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to covering some groups we haven't on the channel yet, one of those being Lynyrd Skynyrd here. So how it's going to work, we're going to go in reverse order from 10 down to 1. Kind of see what each song's about. Have the full song in the video, and if you're watching this on YouTube and the songs aren't here, that means they got copyright and we had to take them out. But there will be a link down below where if you want to watch with the songs included, you can do that.
Exactly.
But, thanks to Rich for this.
Thank you, Rich.
And we got a little bit of a research and a couple facts before each song, and we get into them, and then at the end we'll kind of see how our list would stack up.
Here's what Rich said about it. Once again, he chose songs. We did a Clapton one for him already that are iconic and essential to the essence of Lynyrd Skynyrd. They're their quintessential songs that put them on the map. All of them are from the 73 to 77 time period before, of course, the tragic and sudden and fatal plane crash. Rolling Stone has these guys as 95 on the 100 greatest artists of all time, which is pretty impressive considering they weren't around for very long.
No.
And they were inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2006. Sold over 30 million records in the U.S., so that's also quite impressive back in the day when you sold a lot of albums. We're going to start this off with The Needle and the Spoon from the second Helping album in 1974. Needle and Spoon, Trey, it's kind of self-explanatory if you think about it, but it's about the use of drugs.
That's right.
Damage you can have on you physically and psychologically. On the album Street Survivors, they would address the topic again with That Smell, which we just may get to later. Don't want to ruin that. Focuses specifically on the results of the use of heroin, of course, the needle.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me
spoon.
of Neil Young's The Needle and the Damage Done
That's
from
exactly
Harvest.
that's exactly what I thought about what you wrote about heroin abuse of his friends that they were doing. So let's kick this off, man.
All right,
we're gonna have the lyrics up as always. We're gonna check those out and let's rock this thing. Number 10, Needle and the Spoon.
Looking forward to it, man. Should be a fun list, y'all. So let's start it off, man. Good way to start off.
I like that third verse. I've seen a lot of people who thought they were cool, but then again, Lord, I've seen a lot of fools. Well, I hope you people, Lord, can hear what I say. You'll have your chance to hit it someday. And then, of course, the chorus, don't mess with the needle with a spoon or take any trip to the moon. I'll take you away. And the outro, Lord, they're going to bury you. Boy, don't mess with the needle. Man.
Yeah, just right in your face with the message here, and especially here being in '74, the rock and roll lifestyle and what
yeah, there was some good stuff
brought.
there.
But I really do enjoy Ronnie Van Zant's voice. I think it fits this kind of southern rock, hard rock style quite well with the bass of the drums in the back, and then obviously the lead guitar work was very
yeah, it
very
was excellent.
impressive.
You point out during the song. I'm trying not to make any comments during the song in case the music gets blocked and then you guys aren't going to see it on YouTube and wonder what I'm talking about. Yeah, I just don't know a lot of Lynyrd Skynyrd. I'm very familiar with Ronnie's brother Donnie.
Yeah.
The lead singer of 38 Special. I was a huge 38 Special fan back in the day, but just don't know a lot of this. So didn't know this song at all, but has a great sound to it. That's going to take us to a song that I was surprised when I did the research what it was about. Saturday Night Special from the Nothing Fancy album in 1975. Opening track of the album. It addresses the issue of gun control. Now, I just would have thought it would have been against gun control.
Yeah.
But it's not. It refers to the cheap handguns popularly associated with the term Saturday Night Special and associates them with impulsive violence. Each of the three verses presents a different example. A man being shot by a home intruder, or shooting a cheating man in bed with his wife, a poker player killing his friend after accusing him of cheating, and accidentally shooting oneself while intoxicated. Notably, it argues that they ain't good for nothing but put a man 6 feet in a hole. Ronnie once said in an interview, we should sink them all to the bottom of the sea in reference to guns.
Interesting.
He said that he was a gun owner and that he had an antique gun over his fireplace. When asked if he had ever been shot, he did state that he shot himself accidentally, but didn't elaborate on it further. So yeah, not what I thought. It's an anti-gun.
I mean, we live in Texas, one of the biggest, like gun-toting states there is.
I would say, it's right at number one.
Just knowing Skynyrd's, southern
yeah, you would think
southern sensibilities, but hey, man, that's what I did. That's on me for judging a book by its cover.
No, that was me too. And I mean, he says he owns his own guns. He just, for a little bit of gun control, which is where I kind of stand, and I'll leave it at that. But
all right, Saturday night special.
Let's do it.
5 minutes. I'm looking forward to it. Saturday night special. All right.
Had the sound I thought it would, a southern rock sound, some fire lyrics in here. Some of them I already gave, but it's tells a good story.
No, it definitely does. Definitely something that, as we mentioned beforehand, didn't expect. Again, enjoyed Ronnie's vocal performance. Yeah. Great guitar work here as well. As I mentioned in the reaction, enjoy the fact they kind of surround that guitar with not only some guitar effects, but also some other noises in there too. Kind of adds some texture to the solos rather than just kind of wailing out with the guitar, which I enjoy as well. But they add a little something to it, man. Great mix. Yeah, I mean, you had the piano, the mandolin, harmonica in here, lots of different stuff. So good number 9 pick here, Rich.
Yeah, definitely.
It ain't no number 8 though, man. This is one of the Skynyrd songs I know, first one on this list. Tuesday's Gone, from their famed record pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. And this one has Al Kooper.
Yeah, and for people who don't know Al Kooper's, we actually did an Al Kooper offering, a song reaction with Stephen Stills from the Super Sessions Season of the Witch. But Al Kooper actually discovered Lynyrd Skynyrd, produced their first 3 albums, plays on several of them, but he's also a famous session musician. He played organ on Like a Rolling Stone.
Oh, there you go.
He played French horn on You Can't Always Get What You Want from the Stones. So this guy's been around, but he plays mellotron string sounds and puts them on the chorus of this one.
All right, I'm looking forward to that. It's also one of the few Lynyrd Skynyrd songs on which Bob Burns, one of the original founding members and drummer, did not play. So that also has a little bit of a fun fact for you there.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, you know this one, and I don't. So I'm wondering if I don't know it, and I might know it, and we'll find out.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to it, man. Tuesday's Gone. Nice. Long
and it's
track
Tuesday
here.
when we're
That's
recording,
right. Yeah,
so it's not going yet.
Perfect timing. Great. Tuesday's Gone. Even though I was it wasn't like I was like crazy familiar with it.
Yeah.
Or anything. I just maybe heard it once or twice, but it always stood out as just a fantastic song to me. But I remembered and revisiting it here, it held up.
Yeah, it really held. It's my favorite one so far. It's interesting because it seems like it's a song about losing your girl, but it's really, the band said later on, it's really about them signing their big deal with MCA Records, how nothing would ever be the same again. You wouldn't think you would mourn that, but when you have success and now you're getting money, but also a company has a hold over you, there's a loss of autonomy, and I think there is a mourning in that, no matter how much success you have. So interesting, way to mask that. But I mean, if you want it to be about a girl, which is the way they kind of wrote it, that's the beautiful part. It only matters so much what the songwriter intended it. It's kind of what you want to make it. So
yeah, that's the beautiful part about
great guitar in there, as you pointed out. Just a really good song.
Just wonderful arrangement all the way around, and
really well done.
the chorus very, as I mentioned in the song, has a touch of melancholy here, and when you know what the song's about, and then as you just listen, the Tuesday's gone with the wind. I mean, this is one you imagine everybody, out at in an outdoor venue in the summer, just as one of the closing tunes where everybody gets a little in their feelings before we get to Freebird or something.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, that's an excellent way to.
So really, really great track. This will, by the end of this list, this will probably be in my top 3.
I would think it'd be in mine too.
But anyway, we'll move now to number 7. Yeah. All right. Call Me the Breeze. This comes off of the Second Helping.
Yeah,
record.
Same thing as The Needle and the Spoon. J.J. Cale song originally, which we came across J.J. Cale in the other top 10 lists we've done for Rich with Eric Clapton, because he covered his stuff. So been covered by numerous artists, but I read that most of the time when it's covered now, it's not covered for Cale, it's covered as a tribute to Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Right.
So that's about all I know about Call Me the Breeze, man.
All right, well, we'll keep this train rolling, man. Gonna go to good 3 tunes out of the chute. Don't know this one, so let's get cooking. Call Me the Breeze. And that comes right after on Second Helping, The Needle and the Spoon. So a bit of a contrast there
for sure.
in styles and in subject matter. I got to say that guitar solo was the most impressive one I think I've heard.
I was going to say the same thing. And I think, this is the first half of the song especially. The music really drove the song. It's the first time we've had that where it just...
Very propulsive. Kind
of
wanted to get up, clap. Like
that truck was a driving along, or that train was a going, man, and you just felt it. So, yeah, very different song.
I really thought that they incorporated the horns in a wonderful way. It wasn't overpowering. It still had that Skynyrd type of sound to it.
Yeah.
But they blended it instead of...
A lot more instrumentation than what you get out of a lot of Southern rock.
Yeah, oh, definitely,
a lot of diversity.
Man.
That's something I didn't know.
The keys there from, as I mentioned, Billy Powell killing it.
Good.
You had the guitar solo. It was 5 minutes, but it was a quick 5 minutes, I thought.
It was.
Too.
No, I thought the same thing. That's a good point.
So, Call Me the Breeze, man. Good pick right there, Rich. I really like that one. And now we're going to move to the shortest song up to this point. We're in the 6 hole, so we're almost in the top
we're
top
almost
5.
in the top 5, which is definite fire. But up to What's Your Name off the album Soul Survivor in 1977. It's the opening track, went to 13 in the U.S., 6 in Canada. The lyrics are actually a true story, Trey. They were drinking in a bar. One of the roadies got into a fight. Imagine that. They toss him out of the bar, but they go in another room, order some champagne. One of the funniest things about it didn't happen in Boise, Idaho, like the song suggests. When Ronnie found out that Donnie and 38 Special were going to open up in Boise, that was going to be their first national tour stop. He changed the lyric. It's kind of a shout out. So I thought that was funny, man.
That is interesting, man. I always like hearing the backstories here.
They didn't get wild in Boise.
I was about to say,
Boise,
has anybody ever got wild in Boise?
Oh, I'm sure it could happen, man, but it's probably few and far between. Unless you're in Boise, no offense. I mean,
all right. What's your name? Let's get it, man. Let's get it. So again, notice the piano, the horns, a little conglomeration with we didn't have a guitar solo. This might have been the first one without a solo.
Yeah, I mean, and share what you shared about how he's delivering the lyrics in case this gets cut.
Yeah, so this kind of reminded me of a little, just the way he phrased the words, a little Jagger, kind of little Dear Doctor, Beggar's Banquet type of
that's a good
stuff. Just the way Ronnie kind of stretched out some of the words here and a little bit of the drawl in there. So that kind of stood out to me.
Nice tight little song, a single song for sure that could be released on the radio as it was. And what a more simple lyrically. More about kind of the performance than it is the lyrics.
Kind of the uptown. Or like I could listen to this in a bar type of deal. Of the first 5, probably my least favorite if I had to choose. But that's not to say if this is the least favorite through 5, then that tells me Rich is doing a pretty darn good job getting this list rocking. And then now we're going to the number 5 hole. Arguably their most famous. I would say this and Freebird are their 2 most famous songs.
Yeah, for sure.
We have Sweet Home Alabama. I can already see the people watching this like, number 5, Sweet Home Alabama. It's like, hey, number 5 is number 5, man. It's in the top half. Surprisingly,
go watch our Beatles list and start coming at it yesterday. We know how this goes, man.
This surprisingly reached only number 8 in the U.S. I mean, that's still good. The song's so famous.
Iconic, yeah.
This is also from Second Helping from '78, written in reply to Southern Man in Alabama from Neil Young. We've covered both those records that those songs appeared on the channel. Neil is actually named in the song's lyrics. None of the 3 writers of the song were from Alabama.
It's kind of funny, huh?
Yeah, we got 2 from Jacksonville, and then Ed King was from Glendale, California. So that's kind of funny.
And Neil's stuff dealt with racism and slavery in the American South, and so later on, Ronnie just said, we thought Neil was shooting all the ducks in order to kill 1 or 2. But in 2012, Neil talked about this in his autobiography.
Yeah, interesting. He said, writing my own song, Alabama richly deserved the shot Lynyrd Skynyrd gave me with their great record. I don't like my words when I listen to it. They are accusatory and condescending, not fully thought out, and too easy to misconstrue. That's what Neil said. Ronnie later on wore a Neil Young shirt on several occasions, so they kind of reconcile, which is always good.
Yeah,
too.
he also wore one on the Street Survivors LP cover, but we've had people tell us before they didn't have any heat. They absolutely had heat, guys. They reconciled it, which is a credit to both, to Neil and to Skynyrd for sure, man. But,
Definitely. So obviously, I know this song. I mean, but we're getting ready to. You can't have a Skynyrd top 10 list without this in here, man. So Sweet Home Alabama, Sweet Home Alabama. It is nice to actually sit down and look at.
I don't think I've ever looking.
Hey, Southern man.
Great new words here on reactions to the classics. Read the Neil verse, man.
I like that. Well, I heard Mr. Young sing about her, Southern man. Well, I heard old Neil put her down. Well, I hope Neil Young will remember a Southern man don't need him around anyhow. I just didn't remember that they blasted Uncle Neil that much, man.
Yeah, they went after Uncle Neil, so they didn't have harmony all the time, guys.
But then noting too, in Birmingham, they love the governor, but in parentheses, boo, boo, boo.
George Wallace, famous racist.
We all did what we could. Now, Watergate does not bother me. I guess Skynyrd weren't bothered by it. Does your conscience bother you? Tell the truth. So taking the Watergate shots, the old Birmingham, and just the chorus so darn catchy.
Yeah.
Great song. Only qualm I have with it, as you look at the single, you got the Confederate flag in there, and people definitely use this song to really put their Southern pride, and people love to wave the Confederate flags sometimes, which just did not age well. It was I know the people that say, "Oh man, I'm just repping the South, this or that," but the connotation with the flag,
what it stands for, man,
just needs to be taken out, man. But that's my only, and that's more the association with the song than what the song is saying.
That's exactly right. The song is actually not saying that at all. But no, I agree with you.
But speaking of the song itself, just a bona fide classic, one of the most classic songs of the 70s. I think Rich has it at a good placement here for sure, man. So Sweet Home Alabama in the 5-hole.
Now we're going to follow it up with another heat song, Freebird.
Oh, yeah.
Also off that debut, pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. Boy, they came out on that debut.
Yeah, with Tuesday's Gone, and we're going to have another
one from there too.
So another two, actually.
It's just heat, man. So this went to 19 on the charts. It was number 3 on Guitar World's 100 Greatest Solos, and 193 in Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs of All Time. And then, according to Gary Rossington, the guitarist, for 2 years after Alan Collins wrote the initial chords, Ronnie insisted there were too many of them for him to create a melody, in the belief that the melody needed to change alongside the chords, of course. Yeah. But after Collins played the unused sequence at a rehearsal one day, Ronnie asked him to repeat it. Then he wrote out the melody and lyrics in 3 or 4 minutes. It's that writer's block, and then all of a sudden, boom! When you get that
inspiration, you're going, man.
And then the guitar solo that they added at the end was so Ronnie could rest, because they were playing numerous dates a night for a little while. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then soon afterwards, the band learned that piano-playing roadie Billy Powell had written an introduction to the song just on his own on the side.
There you go, Billy.
And upon hearing it, they included it as the finishing touch and had him formally join as their keyboardist. Alan Collins' girlfriend, Kathy, whom he later married, asked him, "If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me?" Collins noted the question and eventually became the opening line of Freebird. So we just have a smorgasbord of stuff that combined to make up a absolutely fantastic song.
Yeah, and I mean, this and these are probably their 2 most famous songs.
That's what I would think
Freebird
as well.
And Sweet Home Alabama. We're getting them back to back.
I would think that too.
I know a lot of people will have this probably in the 1 hole.
Yeah, I agree.
Rich has got it.
I think they will.
Got it balling out at the 4 hole, so you can't go wrong with that. So let's get to this, get the lyrics pulled up, and get rocking. Can't go wrong with Freebird, man. Just what can you say about Freebird that hasn't been said? Definitely, as I mentioned during the song, I think Southern rock peaked with that ending guitar solo, man.
Yeah, I agree. It's almost like 2 separate songs, right?
Yeah.
With the instrumentation and then
because
with Ronnie's
latter half is all
yeah,
the solo,
so
man.
It's like two separate songs almost.
So when you add that to the lyrical, one of their best, I think, songwriting achievements.
Agreed 100%.
You just get a bona fide classic tune that is definitely. I think some songs are a little overhyped that continue to get airplay. Freebird is not one of those songs, man.
No.
So, Rich coming in with a high ranking for it, and deservedly so. It is just a classic, and I'm sure was fun to see Ronnie and Roy and Alan perform this live, especially.
Exactly.
So, good pick there. That's gonna be tough to knock out of my top 3, I think.
Well, that brings us to a song from that same album, that debut album, pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd, 1973, Gimme Three Steps, based on a real-life experience Ronnie had at a biker bar in Jacksonville, having a gun pulled on him for dancing with another man's woman, and thus inspiring him to write the lyrics on his way home. So this one ought to be...
Gimme Three. I don't think I actually know this one.
I don't know this
surprisingly, one. I know it's one of their more famous tunes. But
well, maybe when I hear it, I'll know it. I was 2 when it was released, so...
All right, let's get to it. Give me 3 steps. Thoughts?
That's just a fun one. I mean, the story's great when you read the lyrics. It's just a fun little rocker. I actually don't know it. It seemed like I knew the riff.
Same
but,
here.
But I've never heard the song, so I don't know if it's someone kind of maybe borrowed the riff or I don't know, and that's why I know it. But yeah, I just thought it was a fun little song, man. This is very good lyrics.
Yeah, one that kept you on the edge of your seat. Like, okay, what's gonna happen to this poor bloke? How's Linda Lou gonna come into all of this?
Wish she saved him a little bit at the end. It's the least she could do, man. She put the guy life on the line here.
That's true, man. Kind of going back to the song we had a Saturday Night Special about the guns, man.
Yeah, it's all tying together.
Probably wish that was probably the impetus for throwing the guns away, man. But dug that one not as much as Tuesday's Gone or Freebird, which is on the same record,
right?
But and we still got one more from this record.
Yeah, we do, man. There's only 8 songs on that album, and several of them appear here.
But really good. I think I think you hit the nail on the head. It kind of has some essence of that fun type of sound and where the lyrics and music can go that Skynyrd can pull off. So now going to a song number 2. Any guesses? Any guesses, people at home? You smell that?
I do.
Oh, that smell, man. That smell. I heard this song on Rock Band 4, the video game.
Okay.
And I was able to shred with it. So I'm very familiar with this song.
Well, okay.
It's fantastic. You're in for a treat if you haven't heard it yet. That is for sure.
Well, Ronnie just said basically when he wrote this that the band had been drinking and doing many different drugs, as bands did in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and still today. He said he started drinking heavily to relieve the pressures of performing in front of large audiences, man. Something we don't ever think about. A lot of times these bands or solo act go from, fighting it out in the club, especially back then. Now you kind of get discovered a little different way most of the time in the music industry. But all of a sudden you go from 0 to 100, and man, there's a lot of pressure in that, man. It's not the same. So
definitely. So that smell, the death around you could just be lurking.
Street Survivors, 1977. This one's on.
It's been a minute since I listened to that one. Yeah, what were your thoughts?
It's good. It's good. That one might take a while for it to marinate on me, just because I'm familiar with some of these other songs, a few of these songs more. But a great lyrically,
Yeah, I mean, we
1977, so grown some on that aspect.
With that and Needle in the Spoon, 2 songs that were heavy anti-drug and
and actually goes head on and addresses it. I mean, I respect that.
Yeah, they need to be playing that smell at these the school drug rallies.
Yeah, it might be a little more effective when kids don't do those drugs. Yeah.
For me, I remembered really loving the song. It's been a little bit since I've heard it, and then once it came, I was like, yeah, I think this is probably my favorite Skynyrd song. It might not be their best per se.
Yeah, be your favorite because you're familiar with it. And that's I get that.
Just love the lyric. I think the vocals by Ronnie, some of the best that we've heard on this reaction thus far, and just the smoothness of the guitar. I'm not a guitar player. I don't know how to technically say, but Skynyrd's has that. Gary and Alan are able to do that, where it's just they're able to get their kind of emotions out. A lot of the guitar playing's at like a high pitch, I guess. And it really fits this style of music well. So that smell, Street Survivors. And now we're going to end it with the song I assume we're both familiar with.
Yes.
Simple Man, number 1. Simple Man, people.
Also off that debut album. Basically, is a mother talking to her son about life, and Ronnie said that he wrote it on the passing of his grandmother. That kind of inspired it. So that's where we are, man.
This I think is probably going to be in most people's top 3, I would assume. And Rich had it in the 1 hole, which I think a lot of other people would as well.
I agree. 100%
going in the 1 hole. Simple Man, yeah, man, they really snapped on pronounce the Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah, they did. It's a lot of pressure out of the gate, man.
So Simple Man, let's get it. Simple Man, Lynyrd Skynyrd. Rich is number 1 tune. I mean, I ain't gonna argue with him there for placing it 1.
No, I'm not either. It'd be 1 for me as well.
Would it?
Yeah, I think it's just tremendous. I think the lyrics are absolutely fantastic. Every man, young man, and man should really take those to heart, man, because all the other stuff really doesn't matter. Be a good man. Don't worry about all the other garbage, man. The instrumentation on it is tremendous, and Ronnie sounds fantastic, man.
No, he does. It's interesting to note, of their most popular tunes, you got this, you got Tuesday's Gone, and Freebird. All are a bit more mellow and kind of touch on those more heartfelt themes.
Ronnie's more diverse, I think, as a lead vocalist than a lot of Southern rock guys. A lot of Southern rock guys are one-trick ponies, or maybe 1.5-trick ponies. But yeah, he could definitely do a lot of different styles.
And, just lyrics that are relatable to anybody growing up, or, young adulthood, or whatever. Lots of great themes here. Forget your lust for the rich man's gold. All that you need is in your soul. And you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want for you, my son, is to be satisfied. So I like the song because it not only is giving advice, but it also is encouraging at the same time. Blending that in there with the great instrumentation. Fantastic guitar solo yet again. Made for a wonderful, wonderful song. And, I've heard it before, but haven't really dissected the lyrics like that. So fun one right there. Now comes the tough part. We see Rich's top 10, just going through. We had The Needle and the Spoon, Saturday Night Special, Tuesday's Gone, Call Me the Breeze, What's Your Name? Then our top 5 was Sweet Home Alabama, Freebird, Gimme 3 Steps, That Smell, Simple Man. My top 3, I would have That Smell, I would have Simple Man, so me and Rich are on the same page there. And then for that third choice, man, that's a tough one. I just for how incredible the solo is, I gotta put Freebird in there. I know that's not, great. I think they're one of those bands where their most popular songs very well might be their best.
And
tunes up there.
You see that every once in a while. But, sometimes we don't like songs because they've been overplayed, but it's overplayed for a reason a lot of the times because the song's fantastic. I'm not going to be controversial at all in the first 2. I'm going to go Simple Man and Freebird. My third song is tough. There's several of them I would want to put in there. I'm going to actually go out on a strange one, probably for most fans, and I'm going to go Saturday Night Special.
Ooh, yeah, I enjoyed the Needle and the Spoon Saturday Night Special. Yeah, Call Me the Breeze. Those were tunes I never heard before.
Yeah, great stuff, man.
Just fantastic. And even the What's Your Name, it was probably my least favorite on here. It was still a nice...
It showed some diversity.
3.5 minutes. We had some horns in here at certain points. The piano, Billy Powell really impressed me. Gary really impressed me. Alan Collins, obviously, the guitar work. And Ronnie, I didn't know he had that vocal range, man.
It's very impressive.
But so, though, yes, you can put them in the Southern rock genre, obviously, they're, I think, a lot more than that. And
yeah, they are. I agree.
I'm glad we were able to...
Me too, man. I never dove into Skynyrd at all, really. Just knew the few songs. So appreciate it, Rich.
Yeah, as always, man.
Next week, next one up, we have Steely Dan.
That's right, man. That'll be...
don't know much of that either.
A fun one. These are fun lists for people, I think, to discover some of, the top of the group, and for a long-time fans to revisit, to do a little debate. Well, what would your top 10 be? Let us know in the comments below. Spark some cool discussion. And
cool discussion. Be respectful. That's all we ask. You can always disagree, but
And as always, y'all, if you enjoy this, be sure to hit that big thumbs up. And if you'd like us to do a top 10 list for your favorite artist, you can check out our Patreon link down below, y'all. We'd love to do that for you. Got a lot of great artists up coming. As always, Dad, appreciate the research.
Oh, man, it's great.
Thanks again, Rich. And
Thank you, Rich.
Until next time, happy listening, and we will see you.